Hey, Shepherd Leaders, just a couple of things really quick that I wanted to touch base with you on as we come out of the month of March and begin to enter into the month of April. First of all, we had scheduled our third Shepherd Huddle for the spring this coming May, on May 22nd. We're going to go ahead and cancel that Shepherd Huddle entirely. That will be the first Sunday in which we're moving our entire preschool ministry upstairs, and logistically, we're not really going to have a place for you guys to huddle on May 22nd. We've already had 2 huddles this spring. I'm not sure that we need a third. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel the May 22nd Shepherd Huddle, which means the next Sunday morning Shepherd Huddle that we'll have will not be until the month of August, on August 21st. And of course, that is on the SBF calendar that I gave you at the beginning of the year. So no Shepherd Huddle in the month of May on May 22nd. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is what we call this ministry that we serve in, Sunday Bible Fellowship. If you'll remember, we've been talking a lot these last few months to our entire church family about the MacArthur Boulevard Discipleship Pathway. We kicked off the year with a 5-part sermon series that walked through each step of our discipleship pathway. We want to equip people to live lives of worship, lives in community, and lives on mission. And what the discipleship pathway does is it provides for our church a very clear strategy of discipleship. And so we want all of the programs and ministries within our church to be aligned underneath this discipleship pathway. It sets the direction for each of our ministries. Now, of course, the primary ministry within our church that supports the community step within that pathway is Sunday Bible Fellowship. So what we say is that Sunday Bible Fellowship exists not primarily for education, not primarily for outreach, not primarily for worship, although all of those things can happen within Sunday Bible Fellowship, but the primary reason that this ministry exists within our church is to equip our people to live a life in community. That is the reason that this ministry exists. For that reason, as we move into the fall semester beginning in August of this year, we're going to begin referring to this ministry as community groups rather than Sunday Bible Fellowship. Now, if you've been around long enough, you'll remember about 6 years ago, we changed the name of this ministry to Sunday Bible Fellowship from just Sunday School, which is what we called it previously. Now, when we made that name change about 6 years ago, the name change represented a change in philosophy. So prior to that time, the purpose of our small group ministry was school. It was education. It was Bible study. And we were changing the direction of this ministry from one that focused on education to one that was going to focus on fellowship. And because of the change in philosophy, we changed the name to represent the new philosophy. So what we said is, we're going to call this Sunday Bible Fellowship. Fellowship is the end goal. We want the fellowship to be driven by the Word of God, and it's all going to take place on Sunday. Sunday Bible Fellowship. Now, the difference between that name change from 6 years ago and the name change for this ministry that's going to happen this year is that this name change doesn't really represent a change in philosophy like the name change 6 years ago did. The philosophy of this ministry remains the same. We want to equip our people to live a life in community. This is the ministry that has to be designed and function to empower and create a venue for our people to come together and to build meaningful Christian relationships, to fellowship with one another, and to participate in each other's lives. That has been the philosophy of this ministry for the past 5 or 6 years, and that continues to be the philosophy of the ministry moving forward. So why are we changing the name from Sunday Bible Fellowship to community groups? Well, the reason we're doing that is simply to make the language for the name of this ministry consistent with the language within our discipleship pathway. So the language we use within our discipleship pathway is community. We want to equip our people to live a life in community. And so we're emphasizing community community, community to our people using that language. And so we want it to be crystal clear in our leaders' minds, in the group participants' minds, in all of our people's minds, that when you walk into a community group, what you're walking into is a venue that has as its goal, its purpose, to fulfill that second step within the discipleship pathway, to equip you to live a life in community. We want the name of this ministry to correspond to the language that we're using in our discipleship pathway, community. So community groups exist to cultivate community. The consistent language will even further clarify the reason that this ministry exists. Now, I want to be very clear here. Changing the name to community groups, again, in no way means that we're going a different direction. The philosophy stays the same, the structure stays the same, the direction stays the same. We're not moving to an off-campus model. We're not posturing ourselves to ultimately go to all home groups or anything like that. That's not the goal here. The purpose of this name change is only to bring the name of this ministry in line with the language that we're using within our discipleship pathway. So beginning in August, we're going to start referring to this ministry as community groups, the place where you come to be equipped to live a life in community. I wanted to make sure that I communicated that to you as leaders first. We will wait to communicate that to our entire church family until the month of August. On August 7th, we're going to have a large Life in Community Emphasis Sunday, in which we're really going to be pushing our community group ministry. We're going to be launching some new community groups. Of course, our groups will resume their normal Sunday morning gathering time the next Sunday, August 14th. And on August 7th, when we're emphasizing these things, I will actually be preaching that morning. And the goal of that message will be to further articulate the meaning and the importance of community within the Christian life. And it's within that message and within that Sunday that we'll be communicating to our church family that we're going to start calling this ministry community groups rather than Sunday Bible Fellowship, because this is the ministry where you come to be equipped to live a life in community. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. I'll be happy to talk to you about it more. But wanted to let you guys know that before we started talking to our entire church body about the name change. So to sum up, no Shepherd Huddles on May 22nd. And starting in August, we're going to change the name of this ministry that we have been referring to as Sunday Bible Fellowship to community groups. Guys, thank you so much for all that you do. You are a blessing to me. It is genuinely an honor, a privilege to serve alongside you guys. And please let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you moving forward. Thanks.